Hey everybody, welcome to part 42 of my Pokemon Ruby Durchlocke Challenge. I'm DurchBurch and I'm going to be training Gulpy. So in the last video, we had a nice long moment to just think about things. I had a nice chance to talk with you guys about my senior project for high school and all that, and how much I'm going to be enjoying that. One thing I don't know if I've mentioned this, one of our friends, I think I've mentioned a few times her channel. She doesn't really have much up right now, but our friend, her YouTube name is Hippopotamus. I don't know if she wants her actual name out there, so I'm not going to say it. But she's doing hers on the cultural impact of YouTube to society. And kind of like, it basically just kind of like talk about YouTube, how it works, how the creators, do things, and how that affects people. Like how it helps people who struggle with depression, just educating people on how to do certain things, all sorts of stuff like that. And we're actually going to get interviewed, me, Chris, and Jacob. Hopefully all three of us can make it. I think we're doing that, planning on doing that next Thursday. And if we do that, I'm going to see if I can get the footage. And then I'm going to upload it, and I'm not going to release it, though, until after she gives her project. I don't want anyone at school to be able to find it ahead of time, so, just keeping it safe. But, it's just, it's a cool idea for a project. Definitely is. Yeah, YouTube has affected my life a lot. Back in the day, I did not, back in the day, like 4-5 years ago, I did not watch much YouTube. Actually, it would be almost exactly 4 years ago. But, it was a while back, the summer before our freshman year of high school, actually. The summer that I started up Pokemon News. That was the summer my brother came down and he introduced me to not so much YouTube as much as the idea of watching videos on the internet often, well, a little website that's not quite, I don't think it's running anymore. Basically, it's where we watch Legend of Korra, because I had missed the whole season. I didn't even know what it was. And so that kind of got me more involved on Facebook, because I started following all these pages that, were about the Legend of Korra and all that, because I'd watched Avatar: The Last Airbender. I loved that show. I watched Korra. I loved Korra. And so that kind of got me into this idea that I can kind of enjoy things on my computer. I didn't think I could watch stuff nearly as much on my computer and find that, all that fun. I was more like, if I was watching something, I would probably be on TV. And so it kind of introduced this idea of watching streamed video to me. And then I think it was the next year, he ended up moving in with my mom in New Jersey. And he had his laptop set up, and he introduced me to my first ever Let's Player, because I'd never watched Let's Plays. I thought they were stupid. Jacob was a guy who loved PewDiePie from pretty early on. And I just never saw the reason to watch that. I was like, that sounds stupid, blah, blah, blah. I don't like the idea. And then, I'd watched YouTube things. I'd watched, Did You Know Gaming, things like that. I'd seen, Egoraptor's videos, but I had 2 subscriptions And then I got a third. My third subscription was Adrosaurus. I don't know why I'm in my Pokemon mess. It was Adrosaurus. She did, like, the first thing I saw from her was her, like, some of her Legend of Korra inspired parodies. Oh, I wanted to move Sludge, whatever. But it was some of her Legend of Korra parodies of other songs. And so, like, I was like, okay, this is actually really good, and so I subscribed to her. She was my third subscription, and I did not subscribe to anyone else until I think it was one of my breaks that I came down and my brother was there, and he had his laptop set up. He hadn't set up his computer yet, but he had his laptop set up, and he introduced me to Markiplier with one of Mark's like montage videos of like his random horror reaction compilations, and I thought that was really funny. And then we watched his first, like, his early access playthrough of Craven Manor, and that we both were dying the whole time, and that kind of made me kind of like fall in love with the idea of Let's Plays. And you know, Markiplier's videos really just kind of became this whole big thing to me. I was like, these are hilarious, Let's Plays are kind of awesome. And so he was like maybe my fourth subscription. And I watched his stuff, and then I was like, and as I watched his stuff, I started realizing, like, oh yeah, there's all these other things I watch on YouTube. So I started subbing to all the other things I watched. Through Markiplier, I discovered Game Grumps. And Game Grumps, I love them so much. They're literally my favorite YouTube Let's Players. It's just, I enjoy their videos a lot. They're hilarious guys, and you know, that was, you know, really that was the time when my love for YouTube kind of blossomed, and I started watching more and more and more YouTube. And now I'm subbed to so many more channels. You know, I would never have done that if I hadn't been introduced to the idea of like Let's Plays and stuff through my brother. And so, like, YouTube's had a massive impact on my life. I mean, look at me. I'm making a YouTube video right now. You guys are watching me do something that I watch, and it made me fall in love with an entire media outlet. Like, I never really thought about YouTube as this big thing. I spent most of my time, if I was on the internet, you know, on like social media like Facebook, Google Plus, things like that. And then YouTube kind of came in, and so that it diverted my attention. So that most of the time, like, my summers are literally just me watching YouTube videos. Should I do more? Probably. Or definitely. But, I mean, it's so enjoyable to me. And, like, I usually, every summer I watch 1 or 2, maybe even 3 or 4, like, long series, and I love them. Like, this type of series, like, this long, like, you know, dozens of, 15 minutes or longer episodes. You know, that's kind of one of my favorite things. I start watching those, and I leave them on at all times unless I'm asleep. If I'm out making food, I have it on in the background. I think this should still do more damage than power. Yeah, it looks like it did. Screw you, Gulpy. But, like, I mean, I've watched a lot of Game Grumps, their long series. I never watched while John was there. And I don't like to go back to when John was there, because, well, it feels really weird to be like, this is somebody who's, like, no longer a member of the Grumps. Like, he's still a friend of theirs, but he's not really a member of the Grumps. He's not a Grump anymore. He's no longer the not-so-Grump. And it's just awkward for me to watch, you know, the old videos featuring him. But, I mean, I actually came in around the time Danny did. Like, the first time I was watching Game Grumps was, you know, shortly after Danny joined. And, honestly, I always loved Danny. I never understood back then why there was so much hate for him, and then now everybody loves Danny. If you don't love Danny, and you watch the Grumps now, what's wrong with you? Danny is awesome, and he's great, and then now Ninja Brian's in, and it's just, But, like, one of the things YouTube's really done for me is kind of given me this idea, like, I've found so many more people like me. That you don't really realize that there's so many people like you. Back then, I was just kind of this weird dude in school. And I had my friends, but, like, I had a close-knit group of friends, and not that many friends outside of that. And so, because of YouTube kind of expanding, like, you know, I watch all this stuff, I started finding all these other people who watched it too. Like, I watched Markiplier, I was like, talking about a video, and then somebody else was like, oh, you watch Mark too? And, like, that kind of, you know, helped cement a lot of the friends I already had, as well as, you know, making, you know, new friendships that I never realized I would have had. Just through, you know, who I watched on YouTube. And you guys are probably going to hear a lot of this stuff. I don't know how long this interview is going to be, but I feel like it's going to be long because I talk a lot. I talk a lot. And this stuff. But yeah, it's, I mean, YouTube is just so influential. And it's just, it's always heartwarming to hear about all the other people who, through YouTube and, you know, other social media, have kind of found so many more people like them when they thought they were alone, or, like, in the time they felt loneliest, they found more people like them, like, the people who were struggling with depression, and then started watching, like Markiplier has so many people who struggle with depression who watch him, because, you know, he helps them, and then they can, you know, join the other people in the comments, because, I mean, while there's a lot of douchebags in the comments, there's always some nice people that are just genuinely awesome, and it's a great, you know, way to be like, wow, there are people like me. There are people who enjoy, you know, this food, this game, this topic. And, you know, I was so inspired when I started watching YouTube. You know, like, literally, that's most of the reason, because my first main summer with YouTube was the summer that led up to the school year where I first started doing Pokechats. I mean, when I started doing, like, Pokemon Rants, as they were called back then, you know, I had just kind of been flooded with all this YouTube over the summer, and I was like, you know, this is something I really love. And, you know, and sharing that with other people and stuff, I was like, well, you know, I have a Google Plus page. I can upload videos there. So I started doing that, and then I was like, well, if I'm going to be uploading videos, why not to YouTube? And so that was the inspiration behind actually starting up the YouTube channel in the September that year. I think it was September 21st. You know, starting up like a YouTube channel then, and then just, you know, going from there. And it's crazy to think this is the last year we're going to be doing Pokechats. And we're in the last half of that, you know, last year, and it's just, it's crazy. You know, it just blows my mind every time, you know, knowing that I will have gone through. I mean, I've gone through over 225 videos with these guys. You know, I've known them for a long time. I've known Chris since 2nd grade, and I wasn't his friend until 4th. I've known Jacob since 3rd grade, and we've been friends since then. And it's crazy to think, like, these people that I've known for, like, literally, like, 10 years of my life, almost a decade we've spent together, and then these last 3 are, like, our biggest years. It's just crazy to me that we've done so much in this time with YouTube and with Google Plus and all that. But anyways, sorry I went like super like deep. No, it's not really that deep, but like, you know, just I went there, I guess. I don't know. But thanks for watching. You know, we love all you guys. I love all you guys. I thank you guys for just, you know, hanging out with me and all this. And watching this video. And I hope you love this. Nice finish. I got it in. If you liked this video and would like to see more, please subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Google+, where we post behind the scenes things, funny pictures, and more. We hope to see you there.